Welcome to Good Energy for Grown-Ups, All In, with Special Olympics Unified Champion Schools. I'm Tasha, a former U.S. Youth Ambassador for Special Olympics North America. Today, we're discussing connection and wellness with some special guests. Hey, Kaylee, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Of course. I'm Kaylee Gardner. I am a former middle-level educator focusing in literacy and special education, and I am currently the education advisor for Special Olympics Unified Champion Schools.
Sophia, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sophia Arnold. I'm a high school special education teacher. I teach students with a range of intellectual disabilities. I'm a Go Noodle teacher ambassador and a mom of 4 beautiful children.
How do you define and explain connection and wellness to children and students?
Well, I would explain connection to children and students as the ability to simply connect with someone, build those relationships with people who are alike and different. I think it's very important for us to put emphasis on someone who is different, someone who you usually probably wouldn't want to make that friendship or connection with.
That's kind of like that acknowledgement that other people exist. You know, we're not walking around with blinders on. I think another great way to bring it together, both in the classroom and at home simply, is thinking of like puzzles. So for connection to me is bringing 2 things together, whether it's 2 people or more. It can definitely be more. It can be between people, feelings, ideas, causes. Like we can connect means like we see part of ourselves in that. And having 2 puzzle pieces, starting with 2, and maybe have them represent different, whether it's the feelings or the people, and having them to come together to form that relationship, to create something bigger.
That connection.
Yeah.
Why are these topics important to discuss with children and students?
I think these topics are important because, again, our end goal as parents and educators is to promote a healthy and long life for our students and children, and giving them the tools they need to do so will definitely aid in that. What about you, Kaylee?
I definitely agree with you on everything you just said about wellness. And I think connections is incredibly important because this world is filled with unique individuals. I think if our end goal is to also create an inclusive community inside and outside of the classroom, we need to help students connect with those of varying abilities, backgrounds, and perspectives. This will ultimately help, guide their thinking, their perspectives. It will help them grow, and it will lead to a more, inclusive and empowering place.
What tips do you have to help kids form new connections this year?
Wanna go for
Yeah,
it?
okay, so I think it goes back to kind of like what we were talking about, like those uncomfortable but safe opportunities. I think something easy that educators could put together in their classes, even like a get to know you like bingo board. So going around, and that puts students in their classroom, going around, seeing what those connections are, opening up those opportunities to talk with one another, see what they have in common or don't. And it's just a great kind of beginning of the year, and it's a great way that you can modify it for any grade level. The bingo board doesn't have to be huge. There can be so many spaces. You can use different pictures and different supports to help students complete it. You can even buddy them up, someone that they do feel safe with, to go around and increase their peer group. Have you done anything in your class to help build
Well,
connections?
something similar. With the older students, I'll have them sit at a different lunch table in the lunchroom. Like, we're so programmed to only sitting in our one spot with our friends. Switch it up today. I want you to sit at the 3rd table, you sit at the 5th table, you sit at the 8th table, and after lunch, tell me something you learned about someone new.
You're right. And I like what you said, out of your comfort zone, getting the students out of their comfort zone. When I was in elementary school, it was never you get out your comfort zone. It was always, you're gonna stay in that zone and be in that zone. It's never, oh, Tasha, think outside the box. Get for me, it was always get uncomfortable sometimes. And sometimes I feel like as little kids, we have to tell them it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to go out there. It's okay for you guys to do certain things. And as teachers and parents, I believe that's very powerful.
Yeah, and like you said before too, having them feel uncomfortable in a safe space.
Yeah,
If they
Fun to
know
say
they
that.
belong in
Yep.
our classroom, we are there for them. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but that's what helps us grow.
Right.
And we're gonna show that growth and model it and be there
Yep.
together.
Exactly.
Yep.
What are key takeaway parents and teachers should walk away with from this conversation?
Well, again, I'm real big on modeling and intentionality. I think both parents and teachers should be extremely intentional about creating the environment so students can make connections, so students can understand what wellness looks like, what it feels like, and why it's important.
And I think also just realizing all of the resources available on both Special Olympics and Go Noodles websites, between the Young Athletes materials, Fit 5, we have the High Five Champ on Go Noodle. Implementing those, whether at home, great energy busters, brain breaks in the classroom, we can implement wellness throughout our natural day, which ultimately will help them in the classroom.